Our speaker is Daniela Zibenberg from PUC-Rio, Brazil. Today, she presents her talk on the topic, Why Do I Need You? Relations between emotional dependence and investment.
Hi everyone, my name is Daniela. You can see my picture and my video here in this presentation. I am a woman with brown hair, and in both the picture and the video, I am wearing different t-shirts, but both of them are blue. So this presentation is called Why Do I Need You? Relations between emotional dependence and investment. I made this presentation along with Professor Natividade. We are both from Pontifical Catholic University, but while I am in the Rio de Janeiro campus, he is in Campinas campus. So the key terms for this presentation are emotional dependence, investment theory, limerence, commitment, and romantic relationships. And we would like to thank our financial sponsors who are institutions of Brazilian government, CAPI, CNPq, and FAPERJ. Well, let's go. So our research background, we'll start by talking about the decision of a couple to stay together that is influenced by many factors. So relationship maintenance is not an easy decision, and it is not supported by only one variable. So for example, we have forgiveness, conflict management, relationship satisfaction, gratitude, alternatives, love, communication, and investment. All of these variables, just to start, that can influence this decision to stay together. And sorry, okay. So we're talking about, with more focus on this presentation, about investment. So according to investment theory, investment can be done through tangible or intangible resources. Tangible are the ones that you can touch or measure, maybe, for example, buying a house together or having children together, while the intangible resources would be more like efforts that I put in this relationship or time that I spent with this person. So investing in the romantic relationship through the tangible or intangible resources increases dependence. And the commitment, that is the decision to stay together, can be understood in an equation that involves the investment summed with the available alternatives. So if I break up, if I have a dissolution of my current romantic relationship, how are my alternatives? Are they worse, better? Are they equal? So staying alone or meeting someone else, does this sound better or worse? And also in this equation is relationship outcome, that is a balance between the rewards and the costs. So the costs is what I put in this relationship, and the rewards is what I get from this relationship. And the outcome needs to be somehow like the rewards are overcoming the costs of this relation. Well, so dependence for investment theory, in which investment increases dependence. This dependence is understood as the extent to which an individual relies on a relationship to fulfill relevant needs. So the more the investment, the more I depend on this relationship to satisfy those needs. And while some level of dependence is expected in any romantic relationship, emotional dependence is characterized as an addictive disorder, a relational disorder with a chronic pattern of unmet needs that are delegated to a romantic partner for resolution. So my needs can never be satisfied, can never be truly satisfied, and the only person who I expect to satisfy them is this romantic partner. And so are dependence and emotional dependence the same? And if they are the same, well, then their relationship with investment would be the same. So basically, our aim here was to investigate the relationship between investment and emotional dependence. So for that, we had 1,015 Brazilian adults who participated in this study. The mean age of our participants was 29.7 years old. Our standard deviation was 11.7. The majority of our participants were women, so 84% of them were women. They were all in a romantic relationship when they answered our our online questionnaire. And most of them were also heterosexual, 68.8% of them to be more specific. So we did disclose an online questionnaire on social media such as WhatsApp, TikTok, Instagram, and the link to the questionnaire contained the expected amount of time for the participant to answer the questionnaire and also our aim. So people who were interested would just click on the link and answer the questionnaire. And as for our instruments, we had social demographic questions such as age and gender and sexual orientation. We had questions specifically regarding the relationship, such as relationship length, commitment, and perceived investment. So we asked participants how committed were their romantic relationships on a scale of 0 to 100, and how much do they agree with the affirmative that them and their partners reciprocally invested in the romantic relationship. So does you and your partner invest in a reciprocal manner in this romantic relationship you have now? And also there were some instruments such as the level of romantic relationship satisfaction scale, which is a Brazilian scale of 5 items to be answered on a scale of 1 to 8 of how much the participant agrees to each sentence to access relationship satisfaction, and the emotional dependence questionnaire, which has 23 items to be answered on a scale of 1 to 6, in which the participant also has to say how much they agree with each affirmative. And just to exemplify, we brought some item examples for the emotional dependence questionnaire. So there they are. When my partner needs to be away for a few days, I feel distressed. I feel afraid that my partner will abandon me, and I am a needy and fragile person. And we submit this data to correlation analysis. So here is kind of what we would expect. I'm sorry, I forgot to take all the numbers, but these are the most important, in green, are the most important results that I wanted to talk to you about. So, we were expecting it a positive relationship between emotional dependence and investment, commitment, and relationship satisfaction. So why? In perceived investment, we had that question that I just presented to you regarding investment. In relationship length, we had kind of the intangible investment. Perceived investment was talking about tangible and intangible. Relationship length was intangible because it's the amount of time you have been together, the duration of your relationship. So if investment increases dependence, and that's what is posited on the investment theory, then we would expect emotional dependence to be positively correlated with investment, because the higher the investment, the higher the emotional dependence. The same would be true for commitment. So commitment would be positively related to perceived investment and also to relationship length, but mostly to perceived investment, because it's the equation. The higher investment is a component that the outcome of this equation is commitment. So we would also expect a positive correlation. And because of that, since we are testing if dependence and emotional dependence are the same, we would also expect a positive correlation between commitment and emotional dependence. And finally, regarding relationship satisfaction, we were expecting a positive correlation with investment. And because we were expecting this positive correlation with investment, with investment, and we are trying to see if dependence and emotional dependence are the same, then we would also expect positive correlations with relationship satisfaction. So here you can see what we got different. So in green, what stayed green is what actually was positive. In blue is what was neither positive or negative because it actually was not significant at all. And in red, what it was negative correlations. So basically, everything that we were expecting it to be positive with emotional dependence, it was negative correlations. But investment indeed was positively correlated with commitment and relationship satisfaction. So what we expected according to investment theory, it was supported, except for relationship length, which was not correlated. But for emotional dependence, well, the correlations were not as expected. And what we can understand about that is basically that our findings support that dependence and emotional dependence are actually distinct constructs because they did not have the same relations with the same relationship pattern with relationship satisfaction or with commitment, and neither of what was expected to be. So they are distinct constructs. And this actually aligns with Limerence theory, which posits that the lower perceived investment can actually heighten emotional dependence because rejection and uncertainty actually increases the feelings of dependence and rumination. So we have another theory that can explain our findings. And other, well, these can, although we were not expecting this result because we were trying to test if dependence and emotional dependence are the same, it is easy to understand why the correlations were not as expected. We can see that explanation in Limerence theory and also in the construct definition of dependence and emotional dependence that I presented to you some slides earlier, because emotional dependence, unlikely, different from dependence, is a disorder, is a relational disorder. So it is associated with harm. So it is not positively associated with relationship satisfaction. It is different. And other thing that can explain our findings is the instrument choice, which is actually also a limitation of our study because we did not choose instruments with psychometric robustness and appropriate characteristics that were previously presented for an instrument of investment or committed. We used the single item questions that we created. And this could actually explain our results because we have the word reciprocal. So it can be that people who perceive their relationship as not reciprocal, then this is what is relating to the emotional dependence and not the investment itself. So it's not the more that I invest in the relationship, but the fact that I don't see me and my partner investing in the same manner. Well, also for limitations, we have the correlational design, which precludes any causal interpretations. But this study did provide empirical data on investment and emotional dependence within the Brazilian context. So, yeah. So these are our references. Thank you so much for all your attention. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. You can find me in the conference or contact me through email or my social media. Thank you so much and have a great conference.